Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, let's start off with Nina. Here's the thing. Clearly at this point, everyone already knows that I am not a fan of Nina's at all. But with that being said, like every other type of review that I do, I try to do it as balanced as I can. Despite my emotional disdain for certain characters. So let's get into Nina and Maxie, because Maxie was pretty much the voice of reasoning at this point. You know, Nina going on and on and on about how Carly killed my daughter and blah blah blah. Here's the thing about this. Now I'm going to try to put it in two lanes, or just two perspectives. Now, the reviewer and me will sit there and say, you know what? Take the emotion aside. Nina's grieving. She's grieving for a daughter that she didn't get to know. She never got a chance to save. She doesn't know what her life would have been if she would have been there. And so she's lashing out. She's lashing out. She is rewriting history because, you know, the alternative just, in her mind, sucks. And so she starts off with this whole, you know, my daughter didn't have had a rough childhood. She got parts taken out of her and all this other stuff. Now that's what the reviewer would sit there and say. What I would sit there and say is, I don't give a damn. Your daughter was a terrible, disgusting POS of a woman that only managed to do one thing in her miserable life right. Wiley. That's how I look at that situation. So while she's sitting there crying and she talks about how she wants justice for her daughter, you know, the first thing that comes out of Nina's mouth is, I don't know if this is before or after that she gained some sort of clarity or whatever, but is that, you know, when Maxie was like, do you think it's the best thing for Carly and Jax? And Nina thinks about Donna, and she thinks about Jocelyn, and she's like, you know, it's not a good idea for them to be separated from their parents. They don't need that. Now, you know, the bitter person in me is like, you know, I really wish you would have thought about that when you decided to wreck Sonny's funeral for his kids. But, you know, we can play tomato about her grief and yada yada yada. I personally don't really give a damn. Mostly because I don't like her, and second because it was selfish of what she did. But, you know, she talks about a crappy childhood once again, and Maxie's like, listen, here's the thing. We all, you know, at some point, a lot of people had crappy childhoods, and we had stuff done to us that was bad. But we all didn't turn out like that. And Maxie pretty much was like, you know, at some point she became a victim to a person that generally hurted people. You know? That generally killed someone. You know? She became a sociopath. So, you know, this whole, she had a bad childhood, you know, it doesn't track later on through life. You know, Nina's like, well, what do I do? Do I sit there and turn my back? Do I sit there and not get justice? What do I do? And Maxie's like, you know what? Listen, I'm not gonna get into that because I'm not doing that. But she tried to get her to see some clarity, and also reminded Nina that, you know, listen, you send Carly to jail, you send Wiley's other grandmother to jail. So just think about that for a minute. Do your little crusade of justice and all that crap. Um, Nina's like, she wants to be part of her grandson's life. At one point, she was like, "I will be a part of my grandson's life," and I was like, "Really? You sure about that, sweetheart?" Okay, all right. Good luck with all that. Love the bravado though. I mean, especially after the crap that she's pulled, she's gonna. Yeah. Okay. Now on the other side of town, you got Willow. Well, Michael pretty much filling in Willow on the fact that Nell could possibly be her daughter. Most likely it's her daughter. Um, Now Willow is compassionate to a fault, and you know what? She is a better person than I am, to an extent. Um, Pretty much, Willow's like, you know what? Listen, she maybe have her spend time with Wiley. Get to know her grandson, melt her cold heart. And maybe in some ways it will get her to drop this vendetta against Carly with the whole Nell thing. Wiley bridging the gap. So, for strategy wise, that makes sense. But I'm not gonna lie, when she said that, I was like, Dad, hell no. That was my first knee-jerk reaction. Was hell no. Cold day in hell. Now that's the bitter person in me. Even though if it was like 5 seconds, that was the bitter person in me. But then I sat there and I thought, you know what? Listen, as much as I don't like... Because even Michael was like, what? You want to say that a little slower? I want to make sure I got that right. But, what it really comes down to is not how I feel, not how even Michael feels, but how Wiley feels. Keeping Wiley away from Nina may seem like a good idea as far as spiting her, and I would love to spite her any way I can, but using Wiley as a tool to do it is an absolute no. It is selfish, and it's selfish on his part. Screw her for a minute. It's selfish on his part. So, when I actually kind of calmed down for a minute and I kind of realized, you know what, gotta put the kids first. It made sense. Now, towards the end of this episode, Michael showed up with Wiley. It was like, would you like to see your grandchild? And, Nina was touched by that. And, if I didn't dislike her so much, it would have touched me to just sit there and look at her smile and cry. If I didn't dislike her so much. But you know what? Wiley was cute, and so that kind of salvaged that scene. Now in the previews, saw Carly there, and I guess she showed up after. But pretty much she was like, listen, you want that to stay that way? Yeah, we're gonna play on my terms. So, yeah. Listen, as much as I am on Carly's side, I don't think that it's a good idea for Carly to sit there and try to weaponize her grandchild as some sort of way to back down Nina. Yeah. Now, Diane was there talking to Carly earlier, coaching her on this vet that's going to come in and is going to ask the tough questions. And, she's like, oh, well, you can't lie, but, just stick to your story. And she does. But Diane's like, so question is Jax going to be on board with your story? Like, is he having second doubts? Is he going to, screw this up? I mean, I don't remember if she said that he won't, but she went through the interview with the feds, answered the question, and then Jax came in. Now, Jax was talking to Alexis earlier, just kind of giving her the lowdown and everything. And, Jax was sitting there kind of questioning, should he side with Nina or side with Carly? Here's the thing. Side with Carly. Because it's not just for her best interest, it's for your best interest because you kind of helped with this whole cover-up thing. So, sorry with Carly, for your daughter. I'm not gonna lie, he seemed like he was kind of like waving a little bit. I was like, don't this up. Okay, go in there and give that exact same energy that you told Carly to give during that night. Do not mess this up. And truth be told, when he got down there, he interviewed him. The Fed was like, listen, everything matches up. Seemed good. So, yeah, I'm going to close the case. And that was it. And he left. Now, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Jackson, Alexa talked about other stuff, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of don't remember. But it was mostly about Nina and how guilty he was feeling for betraying her. And, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie. Part of that, you screwed up. And you know what? I don't remember who said it. I don't know if Alexis was like, if you would have came clean, or no, it was Diane that was like, when you found out, to Carly, when you found out that Nina was, that now was Nina's daughter, you should have said something, because we could have avoided all of this. And she was right. Like usual. So yeah. Now, after Finn leaves, Anna's Valentine's comes over. And he pretty much just tells, Anna about the dirty deeds that Peter has been up to. All of it. And, after he pretty much just lays down all Peter's laundry, dirty laundry and stuff like that, as far as the whole, Peter being the one to hire the assassin and the cover-ups and everything like that. Anna's like, well, you know what, listen, I'm just as guilty because I vouched for him, I defended him, I spoke very highly of him. I was like, you're kind of forgetting the part where you sent Ulbricht to jail for a crime that she didn't commit. I mean, I get you don't like her and she did do a lot of stuff, but this wasn't one of them. But I guess you can maybe apologize at some point in time. When she was like, I am just as culpable, and she was so, I don't think that she was sad and she was like blaming herself. And, alright, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna just come across as kind of dickish, but I was like, yes, you are. All that stuff, you're right. You are culpable for all that. You were playing a part in it, and you're just as guilty. And even though she was sad, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It was so gratifying to see after she kept getting in, now I'm thinking about it, she kept getting in Robert's face, she kept getting in Jason's face, she literally was just being really nasty and really attitude towards a lot of people. Like, well, Peter's this, and Peter's that, and Peter's this, and Peter's that. And Peter is a screwed up child. And you know what? Listen, no one was going to save him. Everything that he did, adulthood, moving forward, was on him. So, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I really, really enjoyed that part. But I think my question was, well, knowing all the stuff that you know, what are you going to do about it? You know that Peter is most likely responsible for Drew's death. You have all this information. What are you going to do about it? Valentine, he blamed himself for his part that he played in as far as delivering Peter to Faison, but you know what? Even Valentine was like, well, yeah, but every decision he made moving forward, there was no amount of effort that I can do to sit there and make him a better person. We both couldn't. So Anna calls up Peter and was like, yo, we gotta talk. And Peter has that look of worry on his face. Listen, whenever anyone has to sit there and say, we have to talk, or we need to talk, or let's talk, it's not good. Not good. No one needs to really talk about something. When you need to talk about something, 9 times out of 10, it ain't good. That's just the way it is, actually. there's some moments between Peter and Finn talking about how, good women have changed them and made them better people. And the sad thing is that, listen, I get that a lot of people do not like Peter. Okay, a lot of people don't like Peter. I feel like Peter, in his own psychotic way, even though he killed a bunch of people, let's not try to bury that. But it's like, that's the way that he felt that he needed to deal with, as far as dealing with his past, to be a better person. And now that he has a relationship with Maxie, he's trying to do the best he can to put that stuff behind. When he says he actually wants to be a better person, as sad as it sounds, I actually believe him. But he's caught himself in so much of crap that by trying to cover up crap, he just wound up crapping on more of the situation. So he just made everything worse to try to make it better. So when he says he's going to be a better person, and he's like, once I put all this stuff behind him, he can be a better person, I do genuinely believe he will be a better person. Okay, let me just take that back. I do believe that about it. I partly believe that he believes that he could be a better person. But what it really comes down to is that he can be a better person until he feels like he's backed into a corner. When it threatens his happiness, yeah, okay. So I guess my whole, I partly did want to believe that. I feel like maybe if he got everything passed out the way and nothing came forward, that he would find a way to be a better person. And I do believe or at least I want to believe, that moving forward with all his dirty laundry that's in the past that can't be drudged up or whatever, that anything comes forward, that he will try the best option before he wants to go and leave them. That's just maybe me being naive, because I actually kind of like the character a little bit. So yeah. Britt has a conversation with Ulbrich. So they have a conversation in the new nightclub that apparently Curtis is going to be buying. And they pretty much strategize about how to, they talk about Peter, they talk about Anna, and pretty much Ulbrich is like, she has to move up the turntable as far as getting dirt on, Peter. I was going to sit there and call him Heinrich, but I'm going to call him Peter. Getting dirt on Peter to sit there and try to save Maxie and James. Just talking about certain things that already happened, as far as like, Britt meeting Peter at Nathan's grave, and Peter acting a little kind of nutty, with threats, and I don't know, just being disrespectful towards his brother's grave, which is like, wow. But pretty much, Ulbrich is planning on going over to Peter's house when he's not there to find a smoking gun or plant evidence. I'm not really too sure what the hell she's going to do, but she's going to do something. And when she's gone, Maxie winds up meeting Britt, and Maxie's just like, she's glad that she has Britt in her corner to kind of look out for her and all that good stuff. So, yeah, other than that, nothing else really happens. Now, Finn does meet up with Alexis, and the important thing that they really talk about is Alexis' sobriety. How she's starting from scratch. And Finn is just there to give her support, to sit there and be like, listen, you do what you have to do to get past this, because you're a better person and you deserve better. And just kind of just being there for her in case she needs something or whatever. Just being a supportive friend. That's pretty much about that. Yeah, I think that's actually about it. I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but I think I got the majority of the most important stuff covered. If I missed something, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for commenting. even when you don't comment, you watch, and I really do appreciate that, and especially when it comes out late and you can watch it the next day. I so appreciate that. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. Be safe, everyone. Hope everyone has a great day tomorrow. If you're watching this tonight, I hope you have a great night. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review. And thank you, everyone, for your support.